Adam, of course, during the week, you saw Arsenal were going to win this game.
Yeah.
About 2-1. Is it a convincing win to you?
No, no, not at all. I'm afraid I'm a little bit negative after that. I think we missed some really good chances to win 3-4. We're hanging on at the end of the game, which is really just not good enough when we've dominated the game. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are very excited about the fact we got 3 points, and I am as well. But we're comparing ourselves with Manchester City. Manchester City win that game 4-0, 5-0, and we're holding on at the end. And had there been a little bit more clinical, it could have been 2-2. So, yeah, I can't say I'm feeling overly optimistic, but a win is a win at the end of the day.
Who was your standout player today?
Declan Rice, as always. He's the probably biggest sort of world-class star that we've had in the team, and often he's the difference, and he makes sure that everybody's doing their jobs. Martinelli was very good. Saka was very good. The strikers is an issue for me. I think Nketiah, I like him, he works hard, but he's just not clinical enough. And I've said this a few times, and people say, oh, you know, come on, being harsh. Maybe it is harsh, but this level of sport, you need to be finishing chances one-on-ones. Trossard missed one, I think, and so did Nketiah, and you've got to put those away. And if you don't, you let teams back in, and we let Wolves back in. And I rate Wolves. I think they're a good side, and on another day they could have come away with something.
No clean sheet today. Is that a problem for Arsenal?
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. I think you've got to expect that teams, if you have the door ajar, are going to try and force their door open, and you get one goal. You know, it opens things up. And I thought at the end we were really hanging on. I mean, they didn't have a glaring opportunity to make it 2-2, but we shouldn't be sitting there nervously at the end of the game in a game that we could and should have won 3 or 4-0. So I don't like, being negative, because at the end of the day, a win is a win. And a few years ago, any win was a massive win because we were struggling. But we've got to hold ourselves to higher standards now. We're at the top of the league, and if you are going to compare yourself with Liverpool and Manchester City, then there's no room for error. And I think I've said this quite a few times. Underestimating anybody, 2-0 is not enough to win a game. You've got to keep pushing. You've got to keep, maybe we did, but we've got to take the chances. If you don't take the chances, you leave things too open. That's a Manchester City, that's a Liverpool. That ends at least 2-2. Possibly you even lose the game for missing that many chances. But as I say, at the end of the day, 3 points is 3 points, and we're 4 clear. So.
Was it so early enough for Mikel Arteta should have subbed Gabriel Jesus and bring up Nketiah into the game?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, I think Jesus is more clinical than Nketiah. I still think we need a world beater. You asked me before about Bellingham and Mbappe. These players that are scoring goals every game, and they're just absolutely clinical. And I don't think Jesus or Nketiah are clinical enough. Jesus is better. He'll score you more goals. But Nketiah, for me, I don't really like saying it because he works very hard and he puts in a lot of effort. And the fan base love him, and I'm no exception. But I just don't think he's clinical enough to win us the league. I think he's a bit part player at best, and we shouldn't be putting him on expecting him to score goals because he doesn't have enough of a track record to suggest that he's going to do that.
Of course, looking at the fixtures in December, top futures, do you think Arsenal can be on top of the table at the end of December?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, obviously, Manchester City got Spurs tomorrow. I expect Manchester City to beat Spurs convincingly, 3-0, 4-0 possibly. And we've got Luton next. That's potentially a bogey match, potentially, because it's a small ground. They're going to put it on us. Their fans are going to be part of the game. It's going to be really, really difficult to withstand certain pressure.
We've got Liverpool as well.
Sorry?
We've got Liverpool as well.
Yeah, Liverpool away, of course, difficult, but a different type of difficult. That's going to be difficult, whereas I know there'll be certain people in the fan base that think Luton away is going to be an easy win. I'm not one of them. I don't think any win is an easy win, and that's the difference. You can't think any game in the Premier League is going to be a convincing win. It doesn't work like that. Even teams like Luton at the bottom, Burnley, look at Burnley today, winning 5-0. You give any team a sniff, and they're going to take it, and they're going to take their chances, because this is why it's the best league in the world.
Do you still think Mikel Arteta needs to work on his getting to ensure that the players are more clinical at goal, going forward?
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, it's a difference, isn't it? Because I think nobody needed to teach Thierry Henry to be clinical. He just was. Nobody needed to teach Anelka and the other greats we've had in the team, Van Persie. Nobody needed to teach this. They just had it and they grew into it. The jury's out with Jesus. Perhaps he can become clinical. Perhaps he can get you 20 goals a season. I don't know. I haven't made my mind up on him, but I don't think Nketiah is somebody that can do that. I think Nketiah works hard. He can run at defences. He can put a lot of pressure on. He's a good person to come on with 10 minutes to go to sort of, work hard for you, but he's not going to score you the amount of goals that he will need to. He's got a good game in him, scored a hat-trick against Sheffield United, but 1 good game, 2 good games, even 3 good games, it's not enough. You have to be getting, almost one in every 2 games needs to be a good game for him.
Can we say, just last question before I let you go, can we say Bukayo Saka is not having a good season?
I think Saka is having a good season. Yeah, I think he's doing well. I mean, he scored a good goal today. Saka actually is quite clinical. Obviously, he's a winger. He's not a striker, but he's got that clinical edge that we need, as does Martinelli. And Odegaard was good today as well, of course. I think he is having a good season. Can he do more? Yeah, I think all of our players can do more. But the more I speak, the more I think perhaps I'm just being very perfectionistic, given we're at the top of the table, the standards have changed, we're looking to win league rather than get in the Champions League. If you were talking to me now and the aim was Champions League football, I'd be on top of the world, because we've got that now. But if you want to win the league, and we're desperate for it, we're hungry for it, winning the league is the absolute top for us. If you want to do that and you want to beat Manchester City, there's no room for error.